Guys, it's Rick Ginn, and today I'm going to share my 21 years of wisdom in wholesaling. I'm going to share the mistakes I made in the beginning and the mistakes I hear every day in this business, and hopefully you can avoid them. But before I get into it, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, you hit that subscribe notification button so you can continue to receive the best videos on wholesaling today. So let's get into it. I'm somewhat of an expert on this field, and I'm going to admit where I made the mistakes, and the goal of today's video is to make sure you can avoid the same mistakes I made and a lot of other investors make, and just learn from my experiences so you can be a better wholesaler. My top 10 is in no specific order because honestly, they're all as equally important. So let's jump into it. Number one, looking for shortcuts to wholesaling. So I'm here to tell you, wholesaling is the fundamental skill of learning how to talk to sellers, how to market to motivated sellers, and how to find the best properties with the deepest discounts. You learn this skill set, you can do anything you want in real estate. Show me a successful wholesaler and they can do anything. If they want to do fix and flips, they can be landlords, they can do Airbnbs, they can absolutely do anything. Now, take the wholesaler out of a real estate investor and they're very limited because they have to go to realtors, they have to JV every deal, they don't know how to find great deals, and they will always struggle in this area, and they're typically not very good negotiators. When you see someone saying, I've got a way you can just skip wholesaling, why deal with all the other wholesalers? You can do this, you can do that, you can do whatever it is. There is no shortcut. If you learn the fundamentals of wholesaling, you will dominate in real estate investing, and everybody will come to you because you are the guy or the gal that knows how to buy properties at the deepest discount, and they will always envy you and want to work with you. How do I know this? Because that is my life. I can always tell if someone's not a wholesaler. Guys, don't skip learning how to wholesaling. It is the greatest skill set you can learn in all of real estate investing. The next one is most wholesalers don't understand what a motivated seller is. Honestly, I'm all about jacking up your volume, but a certain type of volume does not work. If you think you're going to chase motivated sellers on MLS because it's easy and you got their phone number, you don't have to skip trace it, you know what the price is, you have the pictures, most of the properties are vacant. They are not. They are motivated in a different direction. You need to be over here. They're all the way over here. They want to sell their property for top dollar. Plus, they have to give up 6% to the real estate agent. How are you going to get a 25 to 35 to 40% discount of a property that's already overpriced? Guys, there is a huge difference between somebody who wants to sell a house, which is MLS, people with realtors, and honestly, regular Joes trying not to use realtors, and people who need to sell their house. A great wholesaler understands they need to focus on people who need to sell their house. If you try to convince everybody who wants to sell their house on MLS, you are going to drive yourself nuts and you are most likely going to burn out. And honestly, in wholesaling, you cannot make somebody sell their house. And if you take that mentality to the market, you are typically going to get killed. Focus on people that need to sell their house. Make sure they're motivated sellers. That's what wholesaling is. Anything outside of that, you're doing nothing other than speculating. Wholesalers make money today. People who speculate, pray to God that market conditions align for them to make money tomorrow. The next one is hiring a guru or coach and paying a huge fee thinking it has solved all your problems. Honestly, they have just begun. Now, I'm not against hiring a coach or a guru if they are an expert in their field and they have personally demonstrated it over time. What do I mean by time? At least 10 years plus, because it's easy to make money in an up market. And honestly, most of it's not even wholesaling, which is most of what these gurus and coaches have experienced in the last 7 to 10 years. Now, I've been through the worst market, I've been through the best market, and I've learned wholesaling works in all markets. Most of these people teach specific techniques that only worked when they were successful, and most of them don't even wholesale anymore. And for that reason alone, do not hire a coach or guru if they do not wholesale, because they are not going to be up to date on the trends going on. And the reality is you are going to be accountable for your success. If you pay someone or not, it's not going to solve your problem, and you can't skip the journey of wholesaling. Listen, I've had people that have done it completely for free, learn wholesaling, and paid up to $10,000. It It always comes back to, do you have the right information and are you actually going to take the action and execute? If you can do those two things, it doesn't matter if you pay someone or not. You are the only person accountable for your success. If you pay a guru 5 or 10K, they are not going to go and find motivated sellers for you. They're not going to make the cold calls. And a lot of people sign up with these events thinking it's going to guarantee their success. I actually find it sometimes to be the opposite. It's up to you. Be accountable for your own success. The next one is the fix and flip obsession. And I've been brutally guilty of this. So for a year and a half of my wholesaling career, I decided, why am I giving all these profits away? I know how to buy the houses the cheapest. All I got to do is figure out how to fix them up and get them sold. Huge mistake. Honestly, I watched too many A&E shows. And once you watch all these fix and flip shows on, you understand they are mostly fabricated for television production. And there's no real numbers, and it has nothing to do with wholesaling. Absolutely nothing to do with wholesaling. It actually is more of a designed featured show, and that's why people like to watch it. The reality is fix and flip is an entirely different business model. Now, us wholesalers like to sell the fix and flips, but if you decide to replace your wholesaling business with a fix and flip, you are now going to venture in uncharted waters. And unless you really want to work 10, 12 hours a day and you know how to manage contractors, or your partner is not a general contractor, I'm telling you, a lot of the profit in the fix and flip is eaten up in fees, holding costs, carrying costs, insurance, realtor fees, closing costs, and the real end of the profit. The average fix and flip in the United States takes 6 to 9 months. Why? You can do your wholesale deal in 2 to 4 weeks. The money is in finding the deals. It's not in the fix and flip. And guys, honestly, do you really want to run a full-time crew? My advice to you, unless you have a partner or a family member that's not a GC that does it for a living, stick to wholesaling. You'll make more money and you'll have more freedom of your time than you ever dreamed of. The hard money dream. So many newbies come to me and go, Rick, I'm going to buy this property with hard money and I might do a fix and flip, or I might do this. Listen, the reality is when you start out wholesaling, you should not be even considering using hard money. Why? Because you need to learn how to buy the properties at the right discount so you can find a cash buyer to take over your contract position. Hard money is called hard money for a reason. It's hard. And most newbies don't understand hard money. They think they can get 100% financing and they're just going to give up a little bit of the profit. It's completely opposite. Most quality hard money financiers want you to have at least 20 to 30% into the game. Let me repeat that. 20 to 30% of it. So if you're buying a house for $200,000, you have to come up with 40 to 60K. Now, if you're starting out wholesaling, you probably don't have the money for doing that. And you go, well, no, I see all these advertisements. They do 100% financing plus the rehab. No, that's a pipe dream. Also, you guys focus on the interest rates. I don't even care what the interest rate is. There's going to be a prevailing market interest rate, and that's it. It's usually anywhere from 10 to 13%. The expensive part is on the points. So a point is a percentage they charge on the deal. So if you bought a house for $200,000, they charge a point, it's $2,000. The points can go as high as 5 and 6 points. That's expensive money, but that's not it. You have to pay to get an appraisal, and you're going to pay retail. You have to get a property survey, and you have to pay full closing cost. And you have to record the mortgage, the note, and everything. Guys, it winds up being very, very expensive. They call it hard money for a reason. Most of you think like it's really easy to get. And if you really want to figure out hard money, you have to set up your relationships before you ask for the money, not when you have a deal pending. Most people reach out for hard money because they can get a good enough discount and they think the hard money lender is going to bail them out. Honestly, most of the time you're going to give up 30 to 40% of your profit on a hard money loan. And remember, they have minimum periods you have to keep the loan for from 3 to 6 months. So they are going to make sure they get their cut of the profit. And honestly, you're better off working out hard money, especially if you're starting out wholesaling. Please avoid it. This is a strategy for once you get established. Do not do hard money as a new wholesaler. It will not work for you. Next one's a simple one, lack of volume. People complain to me, go, Rick, I don't have any deals, or like it's not going as quick as I want. And the reality is you're not doing enough to get volume. The reality is you have zero experience. You're trying to push a boulder uphill with no momentum. You've got to kick in with everything you got. So when you come to me and go, Rick, well, I made like 50 calls this week. Honestly, you do 50 calls before like noontime. you are going to have to increase your volume. How do you increase your volume? Go attack and get as many motivated lists as possible. Go get all your government lists. If you want to know how to do it, go over to freewholesaling.com. I go into grave detail on it. You need massive amount of volume. Driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars, government list. You need to go out and find the water shutoffs, the fire damaged property, the arrest records. I can go on all day long. And if you're not hitting every one of those, you are not pushing the volume, and you can't complain because you're not busy. Be accountable. Go and reach out to as many potential sellers as humanly possible. When you start out, you need quantity to offset your inexperience, because this is what's going to give you the experience to talking to sellers, and it's going to progress you much quicker on your wholesaling journey. Go get the volume. Shiny object syndrome. Look, this has been around forever and it's in every industry. Stop trying to be suckered in by every guru and coaches. I got the latest strategy. It's going to make wholesaling so much easier. My favorite is like wholesaling 2.0 or 3.0. Guys, listen, there's a reason all these carrots are dangled out in front of you. There's a reason novations are out there. Novations, I'm not a big fan of it because I just don't think it has anything to do with wholesaling. It is a strategy for substituting contracts. If you think you're going to partner up with a homeowner that has issues in a house that needs repairs, and you don't have to put any money in the game, and you're going to record legal documents like power of attorneys and liens, guys, you can't do that starting out in wholesaling. The only reason it seems super sexy to you because you think you're eliminating a risk. It's not nearly as hard as wholesaling. Remember what I said when we started. The best skill you can ever learn is learn how to wholesale properties. Everyone who tries to tell you to skip wholesaling has something to sell you. I promise you. Creative financing will not solve all your problems. Creative financing, if you don't make money up front and you're just starting out, how are you going to pay the bills down the road? You've got to understand shiny object syndrome is real, and anything that seems like it's, one of my favorite one is, let me show you how to sell your wholesale deals for retail. Guys, wholesaling is not about selling your deals for retail. Maybe you learn wholesaling after you get a year or two under your belt, but it is not for the beginner. Wholesaling is selling the cash buyers. You buy it at a deep discount, you give them a discount, and everybody wins. Do not be sucked into all these tips and tricks, how to go to MLS to get motivated sellers. Guys, I'm sure there's motivated sellers on MLS, but it's extremely rare. I know this for a fact because I never fish on MLS. Now, it doesn't mean I don't forge relationships with realtors, but me just scraping MLS, I didn't sign up to be a realtor, nor should you. Next one is, oh, Rick, my market's too saturated. I can't do wholesaling. Why do you think it's saturated? The reality is you're having a conversation with yourself inside your head, and you don't really know much about wholesaling, and you read someone's forum, you found something on Facebook, or somebody said something on Instagram, and you made an instant judgment. You don't have enough experience wholesaling to say that. Now, the exception is extreme major markets, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Manhattan, Miami. Okay, I get it. But for the most part, there's so many markets out there. The number one complaint I get from you guys is my market's too saturated. I can't do it. Guys, I'm in South Florida. It's been saturated since day one I started here. Saturation is a mindset in your own mind. You just got to rise above your competition. If you don't think you can handle it, maybe it is too saturated for you. Stop making excuses. Go get it done. This one drives me nuts, and this is huge. Too many of you beginner wholesalers are trying to get everyone else's opinion and advice on what you're doing in wholesaling. Stop it. You're getting bad information. You're getting horrible information. If you're getting it from your parents, if you're getting it from Facebook, if you're getting it from Instagram, if you're getting it from Google, stop doing it. We have this problem in society where we think we have a problem and we keep hunting till somebody solidifies what we think our opinion is. You are not the expert in wholesaling, so stop relying on your own information, and worst case scenario, stop going on a forum or the social media and you find one comment. Here's my favorite one. Direct mail doesn't work. Okay, I can't use direct mail because I heard this guy says it doesn't work. There's no factual basis for that statement. And honestly, you have no idea who's behind that keyboard and you're getting crappy advice. Cut it out and stop trying to get everyone else's consent. The reality is, find someone like me or Zach or someone that you trust in this business 10 years plus that has a proven background, and follow their advice and stop trying to change it and stop trying to get everyone everyone's consent. You're not going to get it. They're going to give you the worst advice possible because they want you to stay miserable and broke just like them. Stop trying to get everyone's acceptance of what you're doing. You are never going to get it. In fact, if you keep trying to do it, you're just going to wind up in the exact same place you are now. Fix this now or you're going to fail at wholesaling. My last one is simple, is flat out, is most new wholesalers do not have the conviction to survive wholesaling. Guys, it's the truth. You'll never hear this from another guru, another coach, because I'm going to tell you how it is. The reality is you have a belief. Wholesaling will set you financially free and give you freedom of your time. That is awesome, but it's just a belief. Until you pivot and tie a conviction to that belief is going to be blown apart. Because the first time you go out and you say, hey, mom or dad, hey, I'm going to try this new thing, wholesaling. I'm going to get financially free and I can retire you and I can have all the money I want and we can go on dream vacations. I want to take care of you. And they go, that is a load of crap. It's the biggest scam. Why would you follow this? Are you that stupid? What happens to your belief? Someone just shot arrows through it, daggers through you. And now you're questioning, oh my God, maybe it is a scam. Maybe it's not going to work. Guys, listen, I've given you 21 years of proof of my own career. Wholesaling is for real. It's not a scam. The reality is you lack the conviction to survive these types of attacks. What's a conviction? No matter what, I am going to see wholesaling all the way out because Rick Ginn showed me it's going to work. Zach Ginn has proven it works even at the age 16, and I've seen it happen hundreds of thousands of times all over the country. Why can't I be just like them? I am going to make this work no matter what happens. I'm sticking through wholesaling no matter who attacks me at the end of the day. As long as I'm good with myself and I have the proper guidance, I'm not going to take outside advice. That's it. Conviction. Period. It's what people stand for. And if you can't stand for that and you're going to let someone's opinion on the internet or you're going to let your parents break you down, maybe you're not cut out for wholesaling. Guys, I'm giving you the truth here. If you don't have conviction, a strong conviction to be successful in wholesaling and do what it takes, are you willing to make 10,000 cold calls? Does that scare you? If it does, I don't know. Guys, you have to have the mentality you will walk through a wall of fire to make this work. And if you're willing to do that and you'll run the marathon with me and stop chasing these sprinters, you know who these sprinters are. Everybody pops up on YouTube, hey, I did a deal and I'm going to show you how to do it because I can probably never do a deal again. Stop being a sprinter. Focus on a marathon. A marathon runner has conviction like no other person. How else are you going to run that far without? Because your ankles hurt, your feet blister up, your body wants to quit, you're dying of thirst. A marathon runner has conviction. The question is, do you? Guys, let me know in the comments which one of these are your favorite mistakes that you think you might be making, and be honest with yourself. I hope I can help you keep you on course, because in my 21 years experience, these are the top 10 things that most wholesalers fail in the beginning. And if you know it up front, then you can at least prepare for it and you understand that I've been through it, you might go through it, and how to survive it. That is the key. So listen, if you got value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe notification button. This is Rick Ginn, and I wish you the best success in wholesaling.